All right, everybody. Good evening. We've got some Seattle Seahawks breaking news tonight. Had a signing come down about a half an hour ago. Certainly not the world's biggest signing. Certainly not a signing that's going to make anybody feel drastically different about the upcoming season, but the kind of signing that you need to have. The Seahawks have signed a free agent cornerback, Shemar Jean-Charles, per source. This is Jeremy Fowler. I saw it from a couple other people as well. So if you haven't heard of Jean Charles before, I don't blame you. He has not been an especially prolific part of the NFL since he entered it a few years ago. And this is a depth signing and special teams signing at the end of the day. So if you don't know who this is, don't feel too bad. I'll tell you what I can, but keep in mind, I didn't really know who this guy was until about a half an hour ago when this signing came down as well. So you are yeah, I really don't know that much more than anybody else. But what I can say about Jean Charles, and I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, even though that's not how it looks. Jean Charles, I'm just gonna go with that for now. He was drafted by the Packers several years ago in the fifth round, so he was a former draft pick out of Appy State, but he didn't really play that much in Green Bay. He was only there for a couple years. He went to San Fran for a few games, didn't do that much. It wasn't really until last year that he got a significant amount of playing time for the Saints, and he only got significant playing time for a couple of games, really, before he tapped out. So, oh, wow, my shirt's transparent. All right, we're almost floating head, Brendan. But anyway, he did get his first significant action as a defensive player. Before 2024, he had mostly just been a special teamer, and he actually did some pretty notable work. He had his first career interception. He had a couple of pass breakups, so he did get his name in the box score, as they say. He did actually put his name up in they got his name in the newspaper, I guess. But there isn't a lot else that I can say about the player in terms of his resume of success in the NFL so far. That's really about it. If you go to PFF, despite him having the interception and despite him having the pair of pass breakups, on the whole, they thought that he was a pretty lackluster player, decent tackler, and not much else. And if you go look at previous seasons, you'll see that he barely played, so trying to derive any meaning from any grades we can get with him is probably just not a very good use of our time. So all what I can say about Jean Charles is that he is an undersized boundary corner. He's 5'10", 184 pounds. Normally a corner like that plays in the slot, but Jean Charles, if you take a look at the alignment data on PFF, I'll move my head so you can see it a little bit better. He lined up pretty much exclusively as an outside corner in 2024. So despite his diminutive size, that's where he plays, which again makes me feel like he's more of a special teamer than anything else. Remember, this guy didn't really start playing defensive snaps for the Saints until week 9. So it took them getting through a handful of injuries before they let him see the field. And while there were some good things that he did, there were also some pretty bad things that he did as well. So special teams wise, graded well as a special teamer last year, but he played more special teams in previous seasons, and the grades are a little more mixed. So I don't get the sense this guy is like some kind of a special teams wizard, but he doesn't necessarily have to be. The Seahawks do need to try to find their next special teams wizards, because they've lost some of the guys that were in that were kind of in that tier from before. Like Jarek Reed was headed there, but now he's hurt, and we can't count on him to stay healthy. Ballor's gone, and Ballor was getting old anyway, so even if he was here, we need to find the next special teams wizard. I don't know if this guy's going to be that, but he certainly has experience doing it. He certainly has some track record of success doing it, so that's probably about as long as I can, well, as much as I can anticipate getting out of Jean Charles in 2025. So, don't know the contract details. We really don't know a lot about anybody's contract details right now. It's really getting frustrating. We don't even know what the Sam Darnold contract looks like, guys. That was like Monday. That was almost a week ago. But anyway, Seahawks sign Shemar Jean Charles, an undersized boundary corner, mostly a special teamer. Played a little bit last year on defense, did, you know, an assortment of things. I'm not going to say it was good or bad, but he did things. And now he's here. So let me know what you guys think. If anything, I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks.